Ready when you are? Hello, my name is Lilian Dobson, and I'll be your next speaker. Is it okay if I take this off? Great, thank you so much. And sorry for any wait that occurred. Okay. Well, if you're ready. The ancient book of Ecclesiastes states, "Meaningless, meaningless," says the teacher. "Utterly meaningless. I have seen all the things done under the sun. All of them are meaningless. A chasing after the wind." Which is why I want to encourage you today to put everything you do into perspective by acknowledging how finite life truly is and to cherish every moment you have. We'll first take a look at Solomon's perspective on life, the big picture, and finally God's plan for our lives. I recently did a Bible study on the book of Ecclesiastes. In the book, the son of David, the Kohelet, which translates into the teacher, describes life as vapor, or havel in Hebrew. He uses this word vapor 38 times in the book as a metaphor to describe that life is fleeting. A Bible Project video on the book of Ecclesiastes describes life as, like smoke, it appears solid, but when you try to grab onto it, there's nothing there. The whole purpose of the book of Ecclesiastes is to encourage us not to chase after meaningless worldly pursuits, but to be content in our daily lives. Ecclesiastes 1:3-11 essentially states that after everything we have done, nothing really changes. We work, we laugh, we cry, we love, we play sports, we create, we obtain knowledge, we govern nations, we wage wars. But go climb a mountain and see if it cares, for there is nothing new under the sun. Hundreds of years after you, the sun will still rise over the mountains, and time will eventually erase everything and everyone you cared about. Now that we have Solomon's perspective established, let's take a look at a more scientific big picture. The Scientific American reports that most secular scientists estimate the universe to be 13.8 billion years old, but that Earth is only 4.5 billion years old. While Universe Today states that humankind has only existed on Earth for less than 200,000 years. Regardless of whether you believe in a young Earth or an old Earth, this is still a long time. In fact, to put those numbers into perspective, if you stretched your arms out and your entire arm span was representative of Earth's geological history, and then you took a nail file and took just a little bit off the edge of your fingernail, you would have just wiped out all of human history. One of my favorite quotes is from astronomer Carl Sagan, talking about this photo of Earth, taken from the Voyager 1 space probe on its way into deep space, that truly echoes the words of the teacher in Ecclesiastes. Here's the quote. "Take a look again at that dot. That's here, that's home, that's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you've ever heard of, every human being who ever was lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, economic doctrines, and ideologies. Every hunter and forager. Every hero and coward. Every creator and destroyer of civilization. Every king and peasant. Every young couple in love. Every mother, father, hopeful child, inventor, and explorer. Every teacher of morals. Every corrupt politician. Every superstar. Every supreme leader. Every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust, suspended in the sunbeam. Think about how vast the universe is. When I look at pictures of the Milky Way, nebulas, and the countless number of stars scattered in the sky, I can't help but feel incredibly small in comparison. Do you worry about being unique or significant? Maybe because we seem insignificant at times, we tend to worship our individuality. I remember a few years ago, everyone wanted to be a hipster. Even I did. It was the cool thing to do because it was unique. But what's ironic is that all the hipsters started to look the same. We weren't unique after all. You see, we love to talk about our fingerprints and how we're all unique, special snowflakes. But have you ever examined a snowflake up close? Yes, they're all different, but take a step back. They all look the same. We are nothing but a speck of dust in time and space, indistinguishable from the 7 billion other specks of dust dancing around us. But despite it all, God still loves us. So here we are on this pale blue dot. We're tiny specks of dust coming into existence for a short while, only to flicker back out like that. These moments are all we have in this life. Our natural human reaction is to ignore the fact that all these moments are temporary. We believe we're the most important and that everything we do will last. But what is God's plan? Well, think about when you were a kid. Do you remember getting worried and stressed about the things that seemed so important to you at the time? The issues that felt like life and death. Like how the other kids didn't pick you first to be on their team. Now, how do you feel about those things? Do they seem silly? So what are you worried about right now? In the grand scheme of things, do you really think that it is any less silly than what you were worried about as a child? Your job? Your house? Your debt? Vapor. Everything and everyone you love and worry about, it's all vapor. Now, I'm not saying don't have dreams or goals or that jobs or any of that is not important. I'm just reminding you to keep it all in perspective. Because how many of our moments on this pale blue dot do we waste worrying and stressing about the vapor? King David shows us the vanity in human worry and busyness in Psalm 39, stating, "Man is a mere phantom as he goes to and fro. He bustles about, but only in vain." I know personally it's hard not to worry. I like things to be done well and done a certain way. We all do. But we have to recognize the arrogance in pursuing success and perfection. Because after all, everything in our lives is completely out of our control. 1 Corinthians 10:31 states, "Whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." Everything we do isn't to glorify ourselves, but to glorify the one who created us. We can trust God, and perhaps as a result, we can learn to appreciate and fully experience the moments that we have as the gifts that they really are. So, what causes you stress? Because it's vapor, smoke, havel, meaningless, like everything else. This isn't depressing. In fact, it's actually liberating. Finitude is actually what makes life so sweet. For example, Christmas time can be such a magical and wonderful time of year because it only happens once a year. Parents treasure their moments with their young children precisely because they know that those moments will last for very long. So take a breath. Recognize your place on this pale blue dot. Recognize that the things that feel so weighty and toiling in the back of your mind right now are nothing but vapor. Feel your breath. Feel your lungs keeping you alive without your power to make them work or not. Your heart is beating. Your cells are working together to keep you alive, all in this very moment, and it's all so magical, mysterious, and beautiful. So don't waste your time chasing after the wind. Build relationships, love others, share your faith, serve those in need. Do things that matter to those around you. This message is so important to me because I love to plan my life years in advance, and it's so easy for me to worry about my future. This gives me so much joy to know that everything is in God's hands, and if I'm stressed, it's vapor. So don't set your hearts on the earthly things, but let go. Fully open your heart to the mystery that we call God. The one who holds the vapor together, who somehow brings meaning to the meaningless. Life on planet Earth is a gift, and you only get it for as long as you get it, and then the match gets blown out. Thank you. problem. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for judging today. Thank you so much.